Did you know that only 0.5 to 0.6% of the general population are diagnosed with dependent personality disorder? It is more likely for a person to be struck by lightning once in a year than to have DPD.
I don't even care if I get struck by lightning because I have 100,000 subscribers, so that means I'm immune to everything.
Now you're probably asking, why is that important to even bring it up? It's not, I just found it funny. Anyway, let's get into what is dependent personality disorder, or DPD. DPD is a long-term mental health condition in which people depend on others to meet their emotional and physical needs. Some common symptoms or traits of DPD are the following: being overly passive or submissive, an inability to disagree with or argue with others, difficulty making decisions without the input or presence of others. Now, why am I bringing all this up? Because I thought it would be nice to shine a light on a subject that affects people, many of which you may not even know or who has a disorder, myself included. At least in my experience, it can be overwhelming. It feels as though no matter what I think about doing or creating, I need constant reassurance to justify what I made. This is kind of why after a few months of working on my channel fairly consistently, on and off, I then just dropped off for 2, going on to 3 months now. When it comes to my own personal life, I tend to put others' wants and desires before my own. I always feel happier seeing someone else happy. Even decision making can be hard at times. When it comes to the decision making factor with DPD, at least in my experience and how I feel about it, it at times feels as though like I have a separate voice in my head that just doesn't really allow me to proceed with things. And what I mean by that is that when it comes to, say, for instance, trying to make chores or trying to do chores per se, or even trying to get something done. Say, for instance, I'm trying to get my resume done. I'm mostly just rambling, so excuse me. But it feels as though I tell myself I have to get this done. I need to do this. And I could set an alarm, I could set a reminder, I could do whatever I need to. I could write on a post-it note. But once it comes time to do it, I look at the post-it note, I see the alarm or the reminder, and I tell myself that it's better to just put this off later on. So then I start procrastinating, and I start telling myself that I'll deal with it later or another time. And it continues and continues until I tell myself I just can't do this anymore. I'd rather just give up, and I walk away. Chalk it up to task paralysis, procrastination, laziness, whatever you want to consider it. But these are the feelings and thoughts that happen while I'm thinking about this. When it comes to the videos that I made in the past, I would get like shell shocked. I would get very, very sad because it's like, it's not the best quality out there. It's not like amazing. It was just something for fun, and it will remain that way. But to see like how little impact it had, and to see like I'm learning along the way, I'm learning to be better and do better. It's just the overwhelming like sense of like I'm not good enough attacking me over and over again, to the point where I just gave up. And that's not really like the best way to go about things. Obviously, like if I want to, progress and build a career or build a YouTube channel off of this, it's best to keep going, keep striving, right? That's the thought process. It's just too hard at times. I know there's a mix of like anxiety and attached as well, but for the most part, it feels as though like I want to do this. And when I realize that it's too hard and it's become too much, I just tell myself it's not worth it. And then I stop. And then days, weeks, months go by, and I come to regret not trying hard enough, not thinking it's worth it enough. So now I'm just stuck with this level of regret and guilt on my own terms because I didn't put enough effort into it. That's what it feels like. It feels like I give it my all for a small blip of a time. And then when I see that there's no return on my investment, I just say it's not worth it and give up. It renders me feeling kind of useless for the most part. So when it comes to having this condition, or comes to having these mental health conditions, it feels as though you're always perceived as lazy or not trying hard enough or not having a good enough attitude or giving it your all. And I'm not trying to make excuses because that's what it sounds like. I'm sure there's people who still go through with it and still deal with their conditions. I'm just trying to add insight on how I experience it. It's rough. There are those things, there's moments where I think like, yeah, it's all right. I did really good today. I made progress today. I mean, there's moments where it's just like, I didn't even want to upload that video, or I didn't want to do that today. I just had to. All in all, I feel like it just needs to be spoken about. Mental health in general, obviously, like it just needs to be spoken about a lot more than it is. The reason I'm even like uploading this was kind of just to be able to say, hey, I can do this. And it's not to anybody else. It's more to myself. Like, I can do this. I can create the content that I think is worth and that I would enjoy if I was watching. Even this, even being able to just like speak on this and explain myself and then talk to it. It feels as though it's like a self diary. Like I said, or if there's any comments about this or anybody that if somebody comes across this video and thinks I have the same symptom or I have something similar or I feel the same way, let me know. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's talk about it. I would like to hear what your experiences are, because not everybody's perfect. Everybody has their own quirks, gimmicks, things that, make them different. But of course, it's always nice to spread joy, spread kindness, be kind when it comes to others, because you never really know what's going on in the person's head. You never really know what's happening to them internally or like in their own personal life. So don't judge. You don't have to accept. But if you can, just try to be there for the person. I'm sure anybody who hears this would genuinely enjoy just being heard, even if what they have might be something different, or if their loneliness might be something different. Just listen. Just be there. Just be a friend. I think that's all what we really need anyway. But yeah. Let's give you an example of DPD from my point of view with a pop quiz. I need a document from my manager at work, so I need to go and request this document from said manager. Should I, A, go up to the manager and ask for the document? B, give the manager a call and request the document with an emphasis on the timing for it? C, look for another manager or lead and put in word that I need the supervisor that I am looking for? Or D, triple think it over, turn around, and just go about my day? Yep, that's right. The answer is D, because it is so overwhelming to think that I might be bothering this manager when they might be busy. Mind you, I really need this document. So, not a great way to handle things. Even now, as I was writing on this script, I felt an overwhelming dread that this was all pointless, mostly due to insecurity or lack of security within myself, that it would even be a good production of video, or somebody might even like this, or people would want to watch this. It's just a constant going insecurity, lack in myself. That's enough trauma dumping though. Let's get into some pros about DPD from my perspective. I, 1, have the insane power to disassociate with ease because life can't be real. 2, I come off as a really nice person because I simply can't say no due to overwhelming guilt. And 3, my self-esteem is already so low that I have nothing else to lose. Jokes aside, DPD is a condition that affects those who have it in different ways. Again, the topics discussed in this video, or mostly from my perspective, you might be able to find somebody else who has different opinions, thoughts, or values within this condition. This video is just a way to mainly open up about the condition that I don't really see much discussion about, per se. Or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. One last message before I end this video. If you or anyone you know is going through any of these symptoms or any mental health condition for that matter, offer some kindness. Be a friend, give them a hug if they aren't freaked out by touch, and the hug is consensual. Having someone I can vent to and open up without judgment always brings me a sense of ease that I can't find in my own head because it's just too loud. Be kind. Spread kindness. If you have any thoughts, experiences, or comments, just, let me know down below. I would appreciate it. I would love to be able to talk about it more. If you'd like to hear more about these topics, let me know. If not, also let me know. It's just a subject I think just needs some light attached to it. Thanks for watching.